And welcome back. We have match 11 of day 1 of the finals of Alliance Tournament here. We have Solar Fleet versus Panda team. And strangely, we have MacTep of Solar Fleet in their flagship, Fiat Lux, the Balcorn, sat on about 20% structure. It looks like he forgot to repair his ship from last week by the look of it. Strange, but hey, it's there. So, Solar Fleet fielding Balcorn, 2 Macarials, a Guardian, 2 Kitsunes, 2 Keres, and a Daredevil.
And from Panda team, we have a Loki, 3 Ishtars, no Neros, 3 Purifiers, and 2 Hounds. I hope Solar Fleet is able to move those frigates out, or this could be a very short match.
Yeah, this could get very, very ugly indeed. And what do you suppose is going through MacTep's head there?
I think he is just so incredibly confident in his team and his setup that he figured that he will never even approach structure. I'm not sure if I've ever been on the balls that much, but props to you, Master. I bow down to you if you win this match.
Wow, absolutely. I mean, that is, yeah. I can't even think of why he would have done that, to be honest. Yeah, so we have straight away an absolute heap of Warrior 2s on the field for Panda team.
We're not seeing a whole ton of drones other than those Warrior 2s at the moment. Perhaps deciding to go right for those carries. With all those drones on the field, perhaps Panda team is a little bit hesitant to bomb at the moment. Or maybe they just saw something in their formation that they didn't like and are holding those bombs back for the moment.
Yep, it would look as if they're doing so. The Panda team is spread out pretty wide, actually. Again, Solar Fleet have also spread out now, so the bombs really aren't going to be that effective if Panda team decides to use them now that the start of the match is over and done with.
It's certainly an interesting use for the bombers. I mean, they're not really a one-trick pony, so to speak. They do have an incredible amount of volley damage with those torpedoes, and they generally have a generous number of mid-slots, so I would imagine that a good majority of Solar Fleet is dampened out at this point. We're seeing some damage incoming to Shadowzor in his Ishtar, but a ton of damage just incoming to Solar Fleet at the moment. Nothing has died so far, I believe, but MacTep, sorry, he's on fire because of his 2 movement penalties last week. Not a whole lot of damage going either way. That Solar Fleet Kitsune barely hanging on, it seems, but it seems that Panda team has changed its damage away from it.
Yep,
and allowed it to be repped up.
It's interesting to see actually MacTep's ship here from Solar Fleet, Fiat Lux, a Balcorn that they're piloting. Absolutely immense fitting on that thing. It's somewhere between 9 and 11 billion ISK worth of kit. I mean, he has like offers a Weber Fire on board there, 2 Corpus X-type large armor repairers.
The best you can get.
Yeah, pretty much the best you can get. So, wow. You can see there, absolutely clawing, and just a massive amount of armor back. He's got assistance from that Guardian as well. And even with such immense structure damage, I think he's going to be very difficult to take unless they can get either some EW or some cap warfare.
He's being overwhelmed pretty readily at this point.
Oh, there he goes, in fact, yeah, wow.
Panda team able to issue out an incredible amount of volley damage. I believe that Loki for Panda team might be taking the place of a Claymore running command links at the moment. It doesn't seem to be doing a whole ton of DPS. It's interesting, those Ishtars really need the maneuverability to get to position to move the drones, and MacTep in the 9 to 11 billion ISK Balcorn is extremely close to dying. Less than 2% structure left. Perhaps his folly will be his team's defeat.
And there he goes. In excess of 10 bill down the drain there for Solar Fleet. That's one of their cornerstone ships, their flagship Fiat Lux, out of the game. Wow, yeah, that's not the tank I was expecting for such a valuable and very well-fitted ship.
It looks like Panda team is about to lose its Oneros. Really, it's unusual, the choice of ship that they're using, as the Oneros really is requiring quite a bit of tanking support from its allies, and you're not seeing many support ships like the Dremio on the field able to keep it alive. So I'm not sure if that Oneros is going to be able to hold on for very long. The Guardian for Solar Fleet doing an impressive job keeping up the E-War frigates of Solar Fleet. Perhaps it may be too little too late, as Zeus of Solar Fleet in its first Macarial about to go down.
Yep, and it's there we go. A Neros off the field for Panda team. Wow, it's going to be interesting to see how this works out now. The vast bulk of the DPS for the Solar Fleet team off the field now. Well, a big chunk of it at least, and another third of it about to go down also. Zaos of Solar Fleet there in his Macarial starts to bleed into structure. The Guardian actually for Solar Fleet still completely untouched. It's just interesting to see how this is going to change things, because you can see there a lot of Panda team now starting to take damage. The damage a little bit spread out, and a lot of EW in the form of those 2 Keras and 2 Kitsune on the side of Solar Fleet. Very heavy ECM from those 2 frigates. They're very underestimated given the size of their hull.
Those bombers seem to be extremely vulnerable now without that Oneros on the field, and still quite a lot of E-Warfare, as Varone has just mentioned. It looks like damage is still being spread quite heavily. However, a large portion of DPS can also be given over to the Ishtars, which aren't necessarily reliant on that Oneros exclusively for its tank, as they are quite maneuverable, and with the Loki acting as a command ship in all probability, their maneuverability is even greater than that.
Yep, we can see there 1 Macarial left for Solar Fleet now. Nice close-up shot there of one of the little Keras, the 1 remaining Keras from Solar Fleet. 1 Kitsune there taking an absolute battering. As I was saying earlier, very underestimated electronic warfare frigate. Low points value and very effective in the way they deal out EW, able to get under the tracking of a really heavy ship such as a battleship.
It looks like Panda team may have lost their edge in this match, the Loki going down in a very, very rapid explosion. We saw them shift targets away from the bombers quickly onto the Loki, and then back against the third Purifier. We still have 3 bombers on the field for Panda team.
Yeah, you can see there 2 of the Ishtars taking fire as well for Panda team. It's still difficult to call. The Guardian pilot, DeGrant of Solar Fleet, is doing an absolutely outstanding job of keeping that remaining Mac alive. Again, top job with keeping Torp and the Kitsune alive as well. And I think that's probably what's holding the vast majority of the DPS off from those 2 bombers.
I think the Guardian pilot's outstanding play, keeping that Macarial alive, really could be the difference in at least prolonging this match.
Yep.
When that Macarial goes down.
Oh, just as we're speaking there, we're losing that mark. That's pretty much all of the DPS for the Solar Fleet team out now. Still 3 Ishtars fielding Bouncer 2s and Guard 2s on the field for Panda team. So, yeah. This looks as if it's gotten very ugly for Solar Fleet very quickly.
This seems to be just now a battle of endurance, and how quickly those Ishtars will be able to perhaps change targets, which is really their major downfall. Those drones really not conducive to rapidly changing targets, as they're not quite able to keep up with those frigates from Solar Fleet, which are quite well spread out, but not out of the Guardian's range. Guardian doing a fantastic job. Perhaps Panda team will be able to compensate for that Guardian. I'm not sure if that's likely, as the Guardian's rep actually starts at the end of its module cycle, not the beginning, so that slight delay when they're able to change targets may be just enough to give them an edge, but I'm not 100% sure about that one.
Yeah, but at present it doesn't actually look as though that Guardian's taken any fire whatsoever at all. All of the DPS remaining for the Panda team actually focused on trying to drop those 2 electronic warfare frigates, the 2 Kitsunes on the field, Tech 2 Griffins. Wow, Guardian pilot just clawing all of the armor back there on the Solar Fleet Kitsune. He's doing an absolutely awesome job. It looks as if they've now switched their DPS from the Kitsune to the Guardian to try and get rid of him, because he's actually that effective.
And Soundwave, an interesting fact for you: pandas eat shoots and leaves, so you should definitely keep that in mind next time you go out on a date with a panda. It looks like the last bomber for Panda team has gone down, with the Ishtars in varying states of armor and shield hit points. I'm not sure if there's enough damage being able to be rapidly switched between the Solar Fleet frigates at this point to really beat this team. I believe that the Daredevil may be able to put a quite an impressive amount of DPS on those Ishtars, and their speed will really be negated by them as the Daredevil's web bonus and its incredible blaster bonus upwards of 400 DPS.
And sorry to interrupt, but it is actually interesting to note that these Ishtars are actually Lishtars. They are laser Ishtars.
That is
they
absolutely
have light.
fantastic.
It looks like they have some form of dual. Looks like dual light pulse laser 2s on board.
They're shooting Scorch.
Yes, and they are indeed shooting Scorch.
At least they have good taste.
They have their sentry drones out. They've moved away from their sentry drones, and they're defending themselves by running EMP smart bombs to try and keep these guys at bay. Right now, right on top of the Guardians, one of the Ishtar, 2 of the Ishtars, in fact, from Panda team, right on top of this this one remaining Guardian.
Perhaps trying to overwhelm his tank at this point. Believe they have changed out from those sentry drones, or they're just trying to put that impressive laser DPS right on top of him.
Yeah, you can see there. Wow, the laser Ishtars. You saw it here first, and it actually looks as if. Yep, they have just abandoned their sentry drones by the look of it, and they've just dropped a huge heap of Valkyrie and Warrior 2s out of those Ishtars to try and break through this Guardian.
Those should definitely be able to track those frigates, and we have already lost one Kitsune. Perhaps a Guardian getting distracted by those pretty lasers, and we're about to lose a Daredevil, it seems, unless a Guardian wakes up again. Perhaps really just drop the ball on this one.
Wow, I'm still astonished that people think that Lishtars are actually a good idea. Wow, that's...
Apparently they are. They seem to be making just enough difference.
Yeah. I probably would have gone with like at least light autocannons rather than lasers, just to conserve the cap on a Galenti hull. But yeah, it's interesting to see that second Kitsune there down for Solar Fleet. This has actually turned into a little bit of, well, kind of a weird, strange slugfest.
A little of a lull fest. It's a little bit of a lull fest at this point. I think Panda Team didn't turn on those lasers until the last possible moment, just to distract us.
So yeah, I mean, that is absolutely outstanding. I think they're just trying to confuse what's left of Solar Fleet with their awesome stupidity and fitting lasers on a Galenti hull. But yeah, I mean, it's worked out for them. The DPS is there if they have a very highly skilled laser-based pilot, energy turret-based pilot in their corp. It's just a really strange thing to see a Galenti hull firing pulse lasers.
But it's a little bit pretty. It does match a little bit with the Ishtar Jesus on the hull.
Now it's wow. You can see there as well. The Ishtars are actually all newt in the frigates, so they do have newts on board as well. Yeah, it's an interesting use of the Ishtar hull, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and it appears that one of the Ishtars is slowly going below 50% armor. Just very little DPS available on the field. I believe that Jim Malkavian in the Solar Fleet Daredevil is hesitant to get in range, and personally I would be too. As soon as he gets in range and webbed and neuted, I don't think the Guardian will be able to keep him up, but unfortunately to put his very respectable DPS on those Ishtars, he must be in range. So I'm not sure where any DPS would really come from at this point, unless the carries has one or two.
It's kind of a moot point at present, because unless Solar Fleet managed to kill at least 2 of these Ishtars with 2 they they're not going to do anything, purely because of the fact that they're behind on points.
Yes, Solar Fleet did put 3 faction battleships on the field and really put themselves at risk.
Yeah, we can see there Guardian, roughly half armor. The DPS seems to have slowed down somewhat. The 3 Ishtars remaining for Panda Team. I think it's just a matter of time of waiting to see who they want to kill next, basically, because what's left of the Solar Fleet team is now going absolutely nowhere.
I'm not sure necessarily if they can kill anything next. I believe if they would, they probably would have already broken that Guardian, and it's slowly going down in armor, but perhaps not at a rate that I would expect from the amount of damage these Ishtars should theoretically be able to put out. Maybe they're just getting one of the Ishtars into position to loot MacTep's wreck. I mean, an impressive amount of ISK probably still in the field, and unless they loot it before the end of the match.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's what they're doing, if they're trying to get a hold of Smiling Ishtar, Best Ishtar, indeed. And it would be wonderful if we could get...
Can we get a face shot of it?
Just a face shot, a really nice close-up of those Ishtars and just how happy they are because they've fitted them with lasers. I mean, look at that. Oh, look at him smiling. How nice is that?
That is a perfect smile. They love those lasers, man.
Happy Ishtar is extremely happy. Yeah, it's it's nice to see even the ships in the Alliance tournament enjoying themselves.
And absolutely, probably not as much as we've been enjoying ourselves. I mean, Reykjavik has been quite incredible to us. What do you say?
Ah, absolutely. It's there's been a few close calls. A few of the expert team have been extremely drunk on several occasions. But we have the guiding hand of CCP to guide us out here, and it's been good fun so far.
It absolutely has, and it looks like they have started to put more damage on that Guardian, slowly going down. I'm hoping that this match either time runs out or CCP Claw decides to... I'm not slapping Verone for 100 mil. You need way more than that, buddy. Sorry.
Yes, it's not going to happen. You would need to offer him way more than that because I would bite his face if he did so. Anyway, we do not have any notification for in local from CCP Claw.
5 minutes remaining. I believe Panda team should have had enough time to loot MacTep's wreck. Sorry, Master in Russian. Master's wreck. Really just poor foresight by him not to rep himself. He did get double penalized last week, and I believe that he just didn't rep himself from last week to this one. Really negligent from such a haughty player. Yeah,
and look at those two Ishtars. We've got a nice shot there showing how happy two of those Ishtars are now, killing that Guardian, and he is down.
Guardian's finally down.
But yeah, I mean, it by no means a convincing victory for Panda team, but an interesting match nonetheless, given a few random turns of events.
An unusual setup from Panda team. No bombs from the outset. Do you think that a quickly timed bomb launch would have made a difference?
I think that it probably would. Yes, if they could have gotten the bombs down straight away and got rid of those Keras and got rid of the Kitsunes straight away. Got them out of the way. I think that they would have lost a lot less ships. I think they would have had a way more convincing victory.
I believe, I mean, Panda team are certainly competent with bombs. I've seen them use them firsthand within Fountain. They're very good at that. And the last carries for Solar Fleet approaching structure, we have plenty of drones able to catch up with it from the trio of Ishtars remaining. An unusual setup from Panda team. Maybe it would have worked in the past, but I really hope not to see it again. The combination of drones with bombs is really iffy to me. I can't see that working very well.
I was absolutely loving the fact that Solar Fleet was probably going to go through, probably going to do well because they've given a really good showing so far. And wow, look at how happy that Ishtar is. Oh my god, that's outstanding.
Well, look, he killed 11 Bill.
Yeah.
He looted a 2 Centus X-type reps and a Tobias Web, probably totaling near 4 to 5 Bill, the bulk of the cost of that flagship. And finally, Panda team can go home to eat their shoots and leaves back to you, Soundwave.